Hare Krishna. Please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon. Never miss any updates.
हरे कृष्ण। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नित्यामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। वेलकम टू ऑल टू द सेशन ऑन चैप्टर 9, which is called Raja Vidya, Rajaguhya Yoga, the most confidential knowledge. In the last session we have understood about chapter 8, attaining the Supreme, the process of attaining in two different paths, Uttarayana path and Dakshinayana path, with other considerations, and the process of understanding, meditating on the Lord, where one can think of the Lord in the last moment and can go back to the spiritual world. So, with these considerations, again Krishna is coming back and explaining about the importance of devotional service in this chapter. Because in the 8th chapter, 14th sloka, Krishna had mentioned Ananya Bhakti. So, that unalloyed devotion. So, how to attain that unalloyed devotion is explained in this chapter 9. So, all that information that is required for us to advance in Bhakti are technically supplied in this chapter 9. So, this chapter is almost like chapter 7, the contents almost reflect like chapter 7, but they are in advanced condition that are explained in this chapter. So, first Krishna starts with a qualification, specific qualification of Arjuna. He says, Idam tute guhyatamam pravakshyami anasuyave jnana vijnana sahitam yajñatva mokshashe ashubhat. Idam tute guhyatamam. Krishna is saying, I am going to explain to you this most confidential knowledge. Guhya, Guhyatara, Guhyatama. Confidential, more confidential, most confidential. Krishna is saying this is in the highest degree, most confidential. Guhyatamam. Pravakshame, I am going to speak to you because you are anasuyave. This is the specific qualification of Arjuna because he is not envious of the Lord. Any other personality, generally whomever we see, if I have something, I become proud. If I don't have and somebody else has, I become envious of him. In any circumstance, any perspective, this is the tendency. Krishna is saying specifically to Arjuna, because you are not envious of me, I am going to speak this specific knowledge to you. Jnanam Vijnana Sahitam. This knowledge has two components, theoretical knowledge and practical knowledge. Jnana Vijnana Sahitam. By knowing which, jnatva means to know, yajñatva, mokshashe asubhat. One achieves liberation from all unwanted things, from material existence. Then Krishna starts explaining what is the qualification of this knowledge. What does this knowledge comprise of? He says, Raja Vidya, Raja Guhyam, Pavitram, Idam Uttamam, Pratyaksha Avagamam, Dharmyam, Susukum, Kartum, Avyam. 7 qualities of this knowledge, he says. This knowledge, he mentions it as Raja Vidya. It is the king of knowledge. And it is Raja Guhyam. It is most confidential. And it is Pavitram. It is very pure. Idam Uttamam. The best. Pratyaksha Avagamam. One can personally realize this knowledge. Dharmyam. It is full of religious principles. And in the last he says, Susukum Kartum Avyayam. By doing it, one enjoys. One will be happy. Not that one cryingly does this service. No. People happily engage in this service. Susukum kartum avayam. By knowing it, by performing it, one becomes very peaceful, becomes very happy. So then Krishna gives one statutory warning. So Krishna is saying this is the highest knowledge. So many people may not believe in this subject. So what is the status of those people who do not believe in this subject? Krishna says, Ashraddha dana purusha Dharmasyasya parantapa aprapyamam nivartante mrityu samsara vartmani. For those who does not have faith in the instructions of the Lord, who do not take it seriously about this knowledge, they go back into the cycle of birth and death. So this is their status. Whatever Krishna is saying, we have to be faithful to the process of this bhakti yoga. or else we are lost in this world in the cycle of birth and death. Then Krishna said Jnana Vijnana Sahitam. Jnana has knowledge which is about two parts, the knowledge of this material world and knowledge of the spiritual world, or knowledge of matter and spirit. There are two entities what we have to learn. Then Krishna starts explaining about this material nature and the jiva and how he is spread over, how he is managing this material world, how this Prakriti is managed by Krishna. In the next 7 verses Krishna describes. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina mastani sarva bhutani nachaham teshu avastita. Maya tatam idam sarvam. The entire universe I am pervaded everywhere in my unmanifested form. What is that unmanifested form? It is his energy, it is his kala, it is his Paramatma. Various ways he is pervaded entire this universe. Everything, every nook and corner, every information of this universe is known to the Lord. Mastani sarva bhutani nachaham teshu avastita. Everything, all beings are in me, but I am not in them. Then he starts explaining that whatever is created does not exist in me. Behold my mystic opulence. Although I am the maintainer of all living entities and although I am everywhere, myself is still very source of creation. Like some people can understand if I have 1,000 rupees and if I spread 1,000 rupees into 1 rupee everywhere, so my 1,000 rupees original source is lost. So people might assume that because I am spread everywhere, so there is no personality specifically. They may think, no, Krishna is saying I am having a specific personality. And he gives with an example as the wind is everywhere, but still there is a wind personality also. So similarly, all beings rest in me and I am also in one specific place also, sir. And how is this material world? It says it is in a systematic way, it is created and destroyed. Systematically, there will be a creation and after some time there will be a systematic destruction. We have seen Sahasra Yuga Paryantam. In a day of Brahma, there are 1,000 yugas. And each 1,000 Mahayugas. And each Mahayuga is combination of Satya, Treta, Dwapara and Kali Yuga. And the duration of these four yugas is considered as 43,20,000 years. That is a specific duty, specific age for every. So regularly there will be a creation, then there will be a destruction. So for example, take this body itself. We are created and this body becomes destroyed. Again we become created in a next body. In a systematic way, our body keeps transmigrating. Our soul becomes transmigration. Soul experiences this transmigration. And how is this regularly, this material universe is created and destroyed? It is on the order of the Lord. And Krishna says this is completely under my divine control. Maya adhyakshena prakriti, under my supervision, under my full control is this material nature working. Maya adhyakshena prakriti. Suyate sa characharam. It is creating both moving and non-moving entities. Hetunanena kaunteya jagat viparivartate. There is a standard rule by which there is a manifestation. When there is a manifestation, everything is created, and where there is destruction, everything is annihilated. Again and again, Hetunanena kaunteya jagat viparivartate. It is created and annihilated in a systematic way. It keeps going on. And there are some foolish people who think of Krishna. Avajananti ma muda manushim tanumashritam. Avajananti means their people are ignorant because they are foolish in nature. Mudaha, avajananti ma muda. Manushim tanum ashritam. They think I am formless and I have accepted this form, because in that 9.4 Krishna said, I am avyakta murtina, because I am in an unmanifested form. So when I come to this world, I accept a form. My original is unmanifested. This is what Krishna is saying. They are foolish people. Muda. Foolish people. Param bhavam ajananto. They do not know my divine nature. Mama Bhuta Maheshwaram. I am the supreme dominion of everything. Bhuta Maheshwaram means I am the supreme controller. Maheshwara means one who is controller. So the Lord is the supreme controller of everything. Why people are not able to understand? Because of their mogasha moga karmano moga jnana vichetasaha. Rakshashim ashurim cheva prakritim mohinim shutaha. They are all bewildered. Moga karmano, their foolish activities. Mogasha, because of their baffled hope. There is something called hope, asha, atyasa and durasha, different degrees. We have a hope, we have extreme hope, and we have hope which can never be fulfilled. That is called durasha. Since we are in this world, we are running behind this durasha, things that can never be fulfilled. So all our endeavors are baffled in this world. So those who are thus bewildered are attracted by, and they become asurim rakshashim cheva, they become attracted by this atheistic and demoniac mentality. And moga jnana vitesha, because of their bewildered condition, all their endeavors towards liberation are baffled. And all their fruitive activities and their culture of knowledge, everything, whatever endeavor they do, either for fruitive activity or for liberation or for culture of knowledge, because of their atheistic and demoniac temperament, all their endeavors are baffled in this world. They are all defeated. Then how do I come out of this world if I am baffled in this process? What is my shelter? So Krishna is suggesting there are other people. There are called Mahatmas. These people are called Duratma. And there are other people who are called Mahatmas. Mahatmanastu mam parda daivim prakritam ashritaha. There are people who have taken my divine shelter. Bhajanti ananya manasaha. They unalloyed devotion, they engage in my devotion service. Jnatva bhutadim avyayam, knowing me as the source of all existences. And I am the original and inexhaustible. Jnatva bhuta adim, I am the original for all the living entities. And avyayam, and I am inexhaustible. Exhaust means if I have money, I will get exhausted. But inexhaustible means how much you take. You have 1 lakh rupees, you remove 1 lakh, still that 1 lakh will be there. That is the nature of Krishna. That's why Upanishads glorify him as Purnam. So what are their activities? How do you know who is Mahatma? What are their activities? They always Satatam Kirtayantamam. They always keep chanting my holy name. Yatantascha Drudavrataha. They endeavor with determination. Drudavrataha. Commitment. Wow. They take a commitment. Wow. Determination. Namashyantyascha Mam Bhaktyas. They engage in, they offer respects to me in devotion. Nitya Yukta Upasati. Is it once in a while they do? They engage regularly in this process. Nitya Yukta, daily and regularly, it is their commitment. They will be continuously chanting about the holy names of the Lord, and they will be committed in their devotion service, in their vows and commitments. Then there are other categories of people who are trying to understand Krishna through knowledge. So what is their understanding about Krishna? Then Krishna says, Jnana yajnena chapi anye. There are others who do not follow Bhakti Yoga, but they practice Jnana Yoga. Yajanto mam upasate, they are also worshipping me. They worship me in 3 understandings. Ekatvena pratakvena bahuda vishwadomukam. Ekatvena, they think I and God are one and the same. I am God. This is their one level of understanding. Pratakvena, God is many. There are many devatas. Anybody you worship, the end is one, the same thing. There are other things who say the Lord is divine cosmic energy, Virata Rupa, Vishwatomukam. So with these 3 understandings, people worship me. The first category, Ekatvena, is mentioned in 9.11 and 12. Who try to think Krishna as one among us. They think Krishna is a Manushya. So Manushya are equal. So he is also Manushya, I am also Manushya, both are same. Maybe he may have little more than me. This is their consideration. Then the other consideration from the next verse, Krishna, how he is spread over in this universal form, how he is spread across this universe, is explained here. He says, Aham Kartur, Aham Yajna. I am the Aham Kratur. It is I am the ritual, I am the sacrifice. Swadaham, I am the offering. Aham Aushadam, I am the medicine, healing herb. Mantroham, I am the chanting mantra. Eham Evajyam, I am the offering butter. Aham Agnir, Aham Hutam, I am the fire and I am the offering. In various ways, every element is connected unto me. Krishna is saying, every element is my manifestation. Then he says, Pitaham Asya Jagato. Mata Data Pitamaha. For this entire universe, I am the father. Pitaham Asya Jagataha. I am the father for all this entire universe. I am also Mata Dhata. Mata means mother. I am also mother. Dhata means I am also the supporter. And Pitamaha, I am the grandsire, grandfather. Vedyam Pavitram Omkaram. I am the representation of Vedas. I am the Pavitra Omkara. I am the Om. Rik Sama Yajurveda. I am the 3 Vedas. Rik Veda, Sama Veda and Yajurveda also. And he is also saying Gatir Bharta Prabhu Shakshi. I am the destination, goal. Bharta, I am the maintainer, sustainer. Prabhu, I am the Lord. Sakshi, I am the witnesser. Nivasaha, I am the shelter, abode. Taranam, I am the refuge. Suhrud, I am the well-wisher, intimate friend. Prabhavaha Pralayah Sthanam, for the creation and dissolution, Sthanam, I am the basis, ground. Nidanam, I am the resting place. Bijam Avyayam, I am the imperishable, eternal seed. Bijam Avyayam, I am the eternal seed. Then he says, Tapami aham aham varsham. I am the one who is controlling the heat. And I am the rain, I am the drought. Nigranami utshrajami cha. Amrutam cheva mrutyuscha sadasakyaham Arjuna. I am the birth, I am death. I am immortality, I am the death personified. Sadasakyaham Arjuna. I am both being and non-being are in me. So in that way, Lord is spread over the entire thing in a different means and ways. In an universal form, universal energy, Virat Rupai. That perspective is explained in these 4 verses. 16, 17, 18, 19. Next, in next 4 verses, Krishna starts explaining about Bahuda. What is in various ways if you worship different demigods. Indra, Chandra, Vayu, Shiva, Durga, various demigods and demigoddesses are all there. Kali, Ganesha, like this various Skanda, Brahma. So what happens if I worship these various personalities? The contrast between worshipping of Krishna to worshipping of demigods. Then Krishna explains, those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice, seeking the heavenly planets, worship me indirectly. They take birth planet of the Indra, where they enjoy godly delights. So people who follow Karmakandya system, they try to enjoy happiness by giving dana, punya karma, all these things and all. They want to achieve that Swarga Loka, where the happiness aspect is in a higher state. The enjoyment is possible in a higher state. Enjoyment in a Sattva-guna possibility. This is in goodness, Sattva-guna. So how is it possible? By doing punya karma, they achieve that loka. Then how long will he stay in that loka? Till their pious entities, see, I have money. How long can I stay in a hotel? Till my money is there in my account, I can stay in the hotel. Once my money is exhausted, I will be driven out of the hotel. So similarly, how long can I stay in this Swarga Loka? Till my punya account is there. Once my punya account is diminished, I will be sent back to this earthly planet where I have to take birth here. Again engage in Vedic principles and again engage my currency, I have to increase. But for devotees, what is their status? Krishna is saying, contrast to devotional service, Ananyas chintayanto mam yejana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam mahamyam. For those who are having this ananya chintana, unalloyed devotion unto me, Ananyas chintayanto mam. Chintayanta means one who is able to think of me. Mam, Krishna is saying, one who with an undeviated attention, one who is able to think of me, Ananyas chintayanto mam, yejana paryupasate. And they worship me properly. Paryatu upasate, who properly worship me. Tesham nityavi yuktanam, for those who are daily engaged, eternally engaged in my devotional service. Yoga kshemam vahamyaham, whatever they have, I secure, and whatever they do not have, I provide for them. I safeguard, whatever they have, I safeguard, and whatever they are shortage, I provide to them. I take care of their maintenance especially. This is Krishna's assurance. So much commitment, so much assurance Krishna is giving for all of us. And Prabhupada explains a story about one guru by name Arjunacharya. So he was a great follower of Bhagavad Gita, great follower of Lord Krishna. So one day when he was writing a commentary or when he was reading a commentary in this book, he came across this verse, Yoga Kshemam. He was thinking, but the Supreme Lord is so busy. Why does he take care personally? Might be his energies might take care of him. So when he was writing the commentary, he struck out those words. And he went out to understand what is he, maybe contemplate more on the subject. In the meantime, there were 2 boys who came to his house by carrying heavy loads of items. One boy was very blackish and one boy was very whitish. So Arjunacharya's wife, she came and she received all the goods and she had asked, who are you and where are these items coming from? She asked, you are small boys, why did you carry so much load? No, your husband has put upon us. And because he had striken off the translation there, so they have shown, since we are not accepted, he has bet us also. There are, see the marks on our body. Then she says, please wait for some time, I'll make something and I'll at least give you, feed you. But this boy says, no, we have urgent work, we'll come some other time later. When your husband comes, if he sees us here, might be he may beat us again, so let us go away from here. So that day Arjunacharya, after finishing his work, he came outside. In the house, he saw wife was already there and she was very little angry upon her husband. She asked actually, why did you hit that boys? They were so cute and so adorable boys, why did you hit them? And you had put heavy load upon them. The husband was dumbstruck, he doesn't know anything what happened there. So when he got to know who are those boys, what are their description, how do they look like, then he could understand the boys who had come were Krishna and Balarama. To justify their statement, Yoga Kshema Mahamyaham, they have come by taking all these ingredients. So again he will go and taste, no, Krishna and Balarama are personally there to take care of their devotees, not his energies itself. So this is the assurance Krishna is saying. I personally take care of my devotees. That commitment Krishna is saying. So are we sticking on to that commitment to be a devotee? So that is from our side. So the result, if you worship demigods versus if you worship Krishna, what is the result? E api anya devata bhaktya yajante mam shraddhayanvita tepi mameva kaunteya yajanti avidhi purvakam. For those who are worshipping the demigods, they are indirectly worshipping me. Because who are these demigods? They are all parts and parcels of the body. Indra is like hand, somebody else like leg, like this and all. We are worshipping the hand, leg, all these things and all. We are indirectly worshipping Krishna. So in that way, that's why it is called worship in ignorance, avidhi purvakam, without true understanding. If you worship the demigods, then Krishna says, what is his position? He says, aham hi sarva yajnanam bhoktacha prabhurevacha natubam abhijananti tatvenantas chavantit. Aham hi sarva yajnanam, for all the yajnas, bhoktacha prabhurevacha, I am the enjoyer and I am the object of sacrifice. Natumam abhijananti, many people do not know about me. Tatvenantas chavantite, they do not recognize my transcendental nature. Because they do not recognize, they fall down. Because they disrespect Krishna and his position, that's why they lose their credentials. And Krishna says here, yanti deva vata devan pitar yanti pitar vataha bhutani yanti bhutejya yanti mad yajino apimam. Yanti deva vrata devan. If you worship devas, you will go to their specific planet, to the devatas planet. If I worship Indra, I will go to the planet of Indra. If I worship Ganesha, I will go to the planet of Ganesha. If I worship Shiva, I will go to the planet of Shiva. Pitarun yanti pitarvataha. If you worship forefathers, we will go to the planet of forefathers. Bhutani yanti bhuteja. If you worship the living entities, some powerful personalities here will stay in this planet only. But Krishna is demarcating, if you worship me, yanti mad yajino apimam. Those who worship me will come back to me. They will go to my specific planet. So there is a clear demarcation. If you worship devatas, you will go to their respective planet. But if you worship me, you will come back to me. So how Krishna has to be worshipped? Practically Krishna is saying it's an easy process. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yume bhakta prayachati tadaham bhakti upahritam asnami prayatatmanaha. Krishna is saying patram pushpam phalam toyam. In these four categories, anything you can easily offer unto me. A little fruit, a little flower, a little water and a little leaf, tulsi leaf. These four things anybody can offer to the Lord. Water is everywhere, tulsi is everywhere, fruits are everywhere, flowers are everywhere. In these four ways you can worship me, can offer unto me. But this offering has to be offered with love and devotion. Bhakti upahritam. Like you call somebody for a lunch or dinner and you mistreat him, will he eat in his house? Will he eat in our house? He will not even bother. But even though if his stomach is full, but if you call him and please you have come during our lunchtime, you should accept something. Oh, okay, one piece, a small piece you give him. Out of obligation he may accept. So similarly Krishna is saying, by love and devotion, if you offer unto me, I will accept everything. That is the primary condition in accepting offerings. Krishna says, asnami, I eat, I will accept it. So how do we understand in this world about Krishna? What I should know? Krishna is saying, yad karosi, yad dasnasi, yad juhosi, yad dadasi, yad tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurushva madarpana. Krishna is saying a general principle. Whatever activity you do it as an offering unto me. All yat karosi, all that you do, yad asnasi, all that you eat, yad juhasi, all that you offer, yat tapasyasi, all that austerities you may perform should be done as an offering unto me. Tat kurushva madarpanam. That's why there were elder people who always say, any activity Krishna arpanamastu, they used to say. Verbally at least they used to say. So in this way, by offering everything unto the Lord, Krishna is saying, you will become freed from reactions to all good and evil deeds. Both punya and papa will become cleaned up. And by this principle of renunciation, offering everything to the Lord, one will become liberated and come to Krishna. By bhakti and by vairagya, both are essential for us. By sincerely engaging in devotion to Krishna and by becoming detached from this world, one becomes qualified to become liberated. So, Krishna, will he mistreat? There are many people who are endeavoring to reach Krishna. Will Krishna has different things for different people? No, Krishna is saying, I am equal to everyone. Samoham sarva bhuteshu. Sama aham. I am equal to sarva bhuteshu, all living entities. Name dveshasti na priyaha. I do not envy somebody or I do not hate somebody. I do not favor somebody or do not hate somebody. Ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya, but those who worship in my devotion service, maite teshapi aham, I am very favorable to them, those who are engaged in my bhakti. And Prabhupada explains with this an example where he says, children are lovable by everyone, but one will be more attentive to his own children. In a group, he will be equal to all children, but especially he will be more favorable to those children, our own children. Like in a house also, sometimes parents equally treat all children, but those children who are special, they will be given more importance. And Krishna is next confirming, by chance in this process, if there is a small mistake and we do commit it in a small, due to because of our old conditioning and bad habits, if I deviate from this path and if we regret for that path, whatever mistake I have committed, Krishna is saying, no problem. You are in a proper position. You are able to understand that the mistake you have done and next time you don't want to do it. Api cheta sudracharo bhajate mam ananya bhak. But you are in the ananya bhak. In the continuous endeavor you are there, in the commitment you have taken. Sudura acharaha, because of bad quality somewhere and all, we may commit once in a while, we unintentionally we may commit some mistakes, not intentionally, unintentional. Then Krishna says, I will forgive them. Sadhureva is mantavya. He is considered to be a sadhu. Samyak vavshito hi saha. He is because he is situated in a proper position. And for such a person, Krishna says, Kshiparam bhavati dharmatma shashvak shantim na gacchati. He will become quickly righteous. Kshiparam means very soon. Bhavati dharmatma, he becomes very good personality, righteous person. And shashvak shantim na gacchati, and he attains everlasting peace. Shashvak shanti, shashvata shanti. Nigacchati, he attains. And he is saying, Arjuna, oh Arjuna, you declare this to world. Kaunteya pratijanehi name bhakta pranashati. Oh Arjuna, you declare to this world that my devotee never perishes. Because if Krishna says, there is every chance that Krishna might go back from his word. But if a devotee gives that commitment, Krishna has to stay by that commitment. So Krishna is saying, my devotee is more powerful than me. That's why he is saying, I will stand by my devotee's words. There are many circumstances, many stories in context with this, when devotees have given word, Lord stood by that commitment. Like Draupadi, when she was in the situation in the assembly of the Kurus, when she was trying to be disrobed, my devotee never perished. Krishna gave him assurance. And he had given him unlimited sari. He had given to her unlimited sari. That is the process. That is the capacity of this bhakti. If one engages in bhakti, even people who are coming from different backgrounds, they become purified. Who are coming from lower backgrounds. Krishna says, Mam hi partha vyapashritya episu papayonaya. One who are taken sinful births. Striyo Vaishyas Tata Shudras Tepi Yanti Param Gatim. These are all considered as sinful birth. Vaishya, Shudra and Shriya, they are considered as sinful birth, it seems. Because of our conditioning, we are taking that form. Less intelligent form, less intelligent understanding. But even by engaging in bhakti, they can achieve this highest perfection. Yanti Param Gatim. Then what to speak of Kshatriyas and Brahmanas? Then he says, Kim Purna Brahmana Punya Bhaktya Rajarishiyas Tata Anityam Asukam Lokam Imam Prapya Bhajashvamam. In this anitya, which is temporary, nitya means eternal, anitya means temporary, asukam, which is full of miseries, anityam asukam lokam, imam prapya bhajashvamam. By engaging in my devotional service, what to speak of Shriyo, Vaishyas, Tata, Shudras, even Brahmanas and Rajarishis, even they all achieve my supreme abode. That assurance Krishna is giving. So how practically this is possible to achieve that supreme abode? Krishna says, Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskaro. 4 things we have to do. Manmana, always think of me. Bhava madbhaktaha, become my devotee. Madhyaji, worship me. Mam namaskuru, offer your obeisances unto me. In these 4 endeavors, what happens? Mam yevashisi iktaivam atmana matparayanaha. Because in this process, being completely absorbed in me, Krishna is saying, surely you will come to me. Atmana matparayanaha. Atmana, because you are always thinking of me, matparayanaha. Mam yevashisi yuktaivam. You will eternally reach me, you will come back to me surely. So, by engaging in devotional service, Krishna is assuring we will go back home, back to Godhead. That assurance Krishna has provided. So 4 commitments we have to do. Manmana, Bhava Madbhakto, Madhyaji, Mam Namaskuru. We have to follow these 4 technical points. So many assurance Krishna had made. So we have to go by the commitments, then we are assured of going back home, back to Godhead. So we will see further of these topics in the next chapters. So more of the devotional commitment and details are there. So we will understand that in the further sessions. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.